Hey everybody. This is Tendai. I'm so excited. Tendai, the hair whisperer. What's going on, everybody out there? I'm just kind of waiting for some people to get on and we're going to keep it moving. This is Texture Talk, the very first Texture Talk live, coming to you from me, the hair whisperer Tendai. I'm so used to doing this, traveling all over the country and talking to people about natural hair. That's what I do, the hair whisperer Tendai. And we're going to have a fantastic hour of power, an hour of natural hair education. And I just want to say thank you so much for letting me be on your platform here, Natural Hair Magazine. And it's going to be amazing. So as we get started, I guess you guys should know who I am. I guess some of you are probably like, who is this woman? And some of y'all are like, well, I know her, because I've seen her at some of the events. And shout out to all my newbies. Shout out to the people who do know who I am, and the ones who don't. Let's get to know each other. Where are you guys from? You guys can type in, let me know where you're from. We're going to have a great, great time. Hour of Power, that's what we're going to call it. Texture Talk with the hair whisperer Tendai. Let me give you guys a little bit of background, and then we're going to talk about the platform and how this is all going to take place. Again, I'm so excited to be here. This is just fantastic. So I get to do what I love, which is talk to people, and I get to talk about what I love, which is healthy hair, natural healthy hair. So my name is Tendai Morris. They call me the hair whisperer, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm also the president and CEO of Healthy Hair Solutions, which I actually have my own product lines, and we'll talk about those more and let you guys know how all of that works. But today, let me just give you guys a little bit of background about who I am and what we're going to talk about. My passion is healthy hair. I've been a licensed cosmetologist for many, many years. I've been behind the chair actually for 34 years, believe it or not. 34 years. Yeah, black don't crack. 34 years I've been behind the chair, but I started off as a barber with my father and my siblings. So there's 5 of us, 5 kids, and we're all hairstylists. Go figure. Daddy was not playing with us. But I started off as a barber. Thank you so much. You love my glasses. Thank you. Yeah, I started off as a barber. And after I got out of high school, that was when I was 12 years old, as a matter of fact. And after I got out of high school, I decided to go to cosmetology school. Well, I take that back. I was kind of forced to go. And that was all right, because it ended up being who I am, for a long time. I ran away from hair, but then I finally, decided to stick with it. I didn't want to be in corporate America, so I just said, you know what, I gotta be free, like Denise Williams. Gotta be free, gotta be me, So that's what that's all about. And I get to travel and talk to people because I decided that I was not going to give a chemical relaxer ever again. And that was about 15 years ago. And I've been rocking ever since. So since then, I've met many people. I started Texture Talk because I wanted to talk to women about their natural hair journey. It was basically a consultation with a whole lot of people. Okay. It was a consultation with, I would do them one-on-one with my customers, but then I decided to do them in a group setting because people had the same questions. They had the same type of questions. So I wanted to make sure that I was actually giving them the answers and being able to get feedback from other people. So, it's a back and forth type of a dialogue. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to talk about some subjects. You guys throw some ideas at me, questions that you may have about different things, and we'll expound on them as we go. And but we do have a core subject. So our topic for conversation today is, our hot topic for today is, drum roll, how to properly determine your natural texture. I know there's probably a whole lot of people like, I already know what my texture is. I already know. And we're going to see. We're going to see, because I hear people say that a lot. And honestly, I got tired of people coming and telling me I'm a 4C. I know I'm a 4C because my hair has always been happy. See, I take the N away. See how I did that? And I say happy hair instead of nappy hair. But anyway, my hair has always been happy, and I know I'm a 4C. Well, we're going to see if you really are a 4C and what determines whether your hair is a 4C or a 3B, or what it means, what it all means anyway, you know what I mean? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I want you guys to feel free to ask questions. Oh, I see you guys. Frizz, you want to talk about Frizz? So we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about Frizz. And there'll be plenty of time to do so. I do want to let you guys know that you can find me under Tendai Robin Morris. So please feel free to friend me on there. And I'm also on Instagram under the Hair Whisperer _. The Hair Whisperer _ I like to shake my hair out from time to time. So before we get started, guys, I want you guys, I always do this in my live discussions. So if you're ever in an audience and I'm teaching, you're going to say, my natural is my natural. And you type that in, then we're going to get started, okay? That is an affirmation that I actually created for people right out of the gate, because so many people would come in and sit down in my chair and they would just squirm. I had this giant mirror and they would just be like, oh my God, this mirror is too big and I don't understand, you know. And I've talked about this before, but the thing is that we want to connect with ourselves, okay? So if you guys can say, my natural is my natural, what that means is your DNA produces what it produces. So we're going to get to know it and we're going to get to love it. I'm sure a lot of you already know it and love it, but there's some people who are still kind of teetering back and forth on, I like to say they're kind of waiting for the natural hair movement to be over with. When is this trend going to be done? It's not happening. Negative, okay? Because the reality is that we have to be happy with ourselves in order to move forward and to grow and to produce happy, healthy children. And the way to do that is connect and love everything from head to toe, okay? So let's get started. What are texture category typing? What is this whole thing? Now, I see a bunch of questions and things popping up, and yes, my natural is my natural, everybody. I'm going to go ahead with the texture talk. You guys listen in, and at the end, we'll go back and I'll answer some of the questions before we get started, okay? Before we end the show. I do want to say, too, that in the future, there will be opportunities to win my products, opportunity to win other people's hair products. I have these cool t-shirts. Y'all see that? It says Texture Talk on it. They're amazing. Texture Talk shirts. If you want a Texture Talk shirt, tune in next Wednesday, because I'll be here every Wednesday talking about different hair topics, okay? So today we're going to talk about how to determine your natural texture. All right. There are four, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, four major texture categories that have been identified. Category 1, Category 2, Category 3, and Category 4. So let me say this. People have come up with a whole lot of different formulas, but what I'm going to give you is not only from my own experience, just with my own hair, but this is based on experience from clients that I've worked with. Every texture you can think of, every culture, every texture you can think of, and it kind of holds true. I did some research back when the whole texture typing and, you know, this new terminology and all of this stuff started coming to the forefront, and there was some validity to it, and then there was some that was just a little bit, I'm not sure about that. But I'll tell you, the mother of invention is necessity. So we do what we have to do in order to make it work for ourselves. We get to be very, very creative. So there's a lot of terms that you'll hear that kind of came up, and this texture typing thing is one of them, okay? So right out of the gate, category 1, 2, 3, and 4. So category 1, if you guys think about hair on a spectrum, just like this, everything on a spectrum, you're going to understand that it's all, first of all, let's understand all of it is hair. It's all hair, okay? None of it's made out of anything else except for keratin, protein, okay? So let's talk about the textures. Category 1 is the straightest texture there is. No wave pattern, and I'm talking about when it's hydrated. Now, the difference between hydration and moisture is internal and external. Internal is hydrated from within. External is just like spraying water on your hair. Either way it goes, when your hair is wet and it actually absorbs moisture in a healthy way, your hair is going to kind of curve or not. It's going to wave up or not. So naturally, people who tend to have straight hair naturally tend to be people of Asian descent. Okay, that's typically, you know, but there are some variations and some exceptions to the rule, okay? But we're going to talk about overall. Category 1, when it's wet, it doesn't shrink up, it doesn't wave up, it doesn't do anything. It's just bone straight. As it dries, it's straight. Category 2 has a slight wave pattern. So you got category 1 is straight, then category 2 slightly wavy. So if you think about all this connected, 1, 2. Okay, that's category 2. Usually I see my white friends, white people with hair that when it's wet and it starts to dry, it just waves up just a little bit, right? So you see these deep waves in their hair. Category 3 is a broad category. And some people, there are some charts that I've seen that where they have like 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D. I mean, all these different things going on, or 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I like to keep it simple. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 is going to be the biggest category there is. And the reason why I say that is because they all have an S pattern. Whether it's a big giant S like this, or it's a small S. Little bitty small S's too. So some people think that they're in a 4 category, but literally when you stretch the hair out like mine, you'll see that there's these little S's in my hair, you know, and they get even smaller than that. If you can kind of tug it a little bit and you see bumps in the hair just like that, that's an S pattern. And so that puts you in a category 3. So that's a big, broad category. And usually I see people of Hispanic descent, black people. I see all kinds of people, Jewish people. I see all kinds of people with this big S pattern and on down to smaller S's. So now on that spectrum, let's go back. Category 1 is straight. Category 2, slightly wavy. Category 3 is going to be big S's on down to the smaller S's. Y'all with me? Okay. So now, category 4. Here's where it gets a little bit different. That S gets so small till it gets to like a Z. It's like a compact Z. Now, some of you all say, well, I know I got a 4, and I'm here to tell you that you may not have a 4. It may start off looking like a 4, especially if you do a big chop and your hair is really, really short. It may start off looking like a 4, but actually it's a 3, because as it grows out, gravity will tell you exactly what it is because your hair gets longer, right? So one way you can kind of identify whether you're a 3 or not is that you're looking at the actual circle. So that's called a speed, the speed of your curl, how tightly wound your curl pattern is, or how loosely, you know, that's the speed of your curl. So some speeds are really slower, and then other ones are really, really minute and small. Okay, so that's how you could tell that. Now, category 4 again is the Z pattern, and you usually see that people who just got really, really tight, compact hair. Now let's kind of talk about how this varies on different people. You have your categories, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are your main categories, which determine the actual shape of your curl, the shape of your hair. 1 is straight, 2 slightly wavy, 3 okay, S patterns on down to smaller S patterns, and then 4 is a Z pattern, really, really, really tight. We got that? Y'all give me some thumbs up if you're understanding where I'm at, because we're going to move on to the subcategories. Subcategories, precisely A, B, and C. So what I mean by that, I'm going to get a piece of paper out and draw, because I like to draw. Right on, thumbs up. So we got category 1, 2, 3, or 4. Everybody, every human being with a strand growing out of their hair is going to fall into some category. Category 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, the subcategories are A, B, and C. A, B, and C. What does that mean? Fine, medium, or coarse. A is fine. B is medium. I'm drawing. That's why I'm looking down. And C is coarse. All right. So let's look at this. If you guys can see these lines that I drew. All right. One strand of hair. If you take one strand of your hair and you lift it up and you compare it to another person's strand, one is going to be thin. One is going to be thicker than somebody else's. Okay, so fine, we're talking about your strand is literally really, really fine, and it's likened to a spider web. If you think about that, like a spider web. B, and I have fine strands. You can't really see because I've got it all twisted up now. But if you look at one strand of my hair, it's really, really, really fine. You know, B is going to be medium, which is a little thicker than the fine. And C is going to be coarse. Literally, you could stand across the room and see one person's strand of hair and it's coarse. Every person, whether they're in category 1, 2, 3, or 4, will have a subcategory. It's going to be fine, medium, or coarse. Do you guys have questions about any of that right now? Because I'm going to actually break this down a little bit further to help you understand why this is important. I know some of you guys are like, why do we got to know this anyway? Well, understanding where your texture category is helps you out in a lot of ways. Helps you to not be frustrated. How many of you guys have ever gone on YouTube, saw a style, or even just seen some pictures on a Natural Hair Mag and just thought to yourself, wow, I literally want to do that hairstyle and I think I can get it. I like that hairstyle. Then you go and you two-strand, you follow all the instructions, you buy all the products, you buy all the combs, you buy whatever they tell you to buy, and then you sit there and you take your time, your good sweet time on a Friday listening to your Luther or whatever you're listening to, or your Drake, and then all of a sudden you let it dry and you spend all this time, take it down, and it looks nothing like the style that you set out to do. Okay? And you just think to yourself, natural ain't for everybody. It ain't for me. Well, that's what I mean by the frustration. That's what I mean by that. Because the thing is that your strands and your combination that you have on your head will give you results. Now, it also helps you to identify people that are truly in your texture zone, in your zone, in your what's within your grasp. I mean, if you don't really understand where you are, you can't really take a roadmap to where you're wanting to go. Does that make sense? Awesome. Thank you so much. So somebody said they love my hair, but I'm gonna tell you guys, this is actually serving a purpose. So you see my hair is all floppy and things like this. My hair was actually in a big giant fro. I cut my hair off about it was December of 2015, and I actually did it because I wanted to see how my hair would grow out without heat. Let's get back to what we were talking about. This is one of the prime examples. Now, in the process of me learning what my texture category is, I have learned a few things. Number one, braids are not my friend. I have fine strands of hair, which means that if I pull my hair really tight and then add something with a little more weight, like a cankaline fiber hair in a braid, which is weight, my hair starts to snap off all around that part where the hair is pulled together. That makes sense? So it's causing tension alopecia. So as much as I would try to not go there, you know, I was still doing it. I think a lot of us were doing it. And it just caused more problems for me than anything. Another thing that was happening to me is that I was flat ironing my hair. So imagine a person with fine strands of hair, and you take that plate, that flat iron, and you put it in between, put the hair in between that flat iron, and you hold it and you smooth it down, you silk it down. My hair is being flattened now with the flat iron in between those plates, and the bonds are being compromised even more. So now my hair is heat damaged or close to heat damaged, and then not understanding why some people's hair actually will handle heat well. Well, think about that. There's two different reasons why. If the person's hair strands are coarse, are thicker than mine, they would probably have a less difficult time with heat damage than somebody like me with fine strands. Also, the diameter, as far as like in a square inch, per square inch, how many hair strands are actually active per square inch? You know, for me, I have a lot of strands of hair on my head, a lot of strands of fine hair. And flat ironed, I look almost bald. I mean, it's really, really flat. But when I have it just, you know, in its natural state, it does a whole lot better. Also, these are just micro twists. These are my own hair, but I literally twist my hair into little bitty small 2-strand twists, and I leave it that way. Just put like a little coil on the end of my hair. So that's what I mean. How you can actually have great outcomes and great results from your natural hair journey and not be so frustrated from chasing somebody else's form of beauty. You know, for many, many years, we chased category 1. We've been chasing category 1. And if you guys know what category 1 is, go ahead and type it down low. Let me see who's listening. Category 1 is straight hair. All right. We chased that. A lot of us are still chasing category 1. I stopped because I realized that my hair is more vulnerable in that state, and I wanted my hair to be healthy. All right. So once again, let me see you guys say, my natural is my natural. That's right. Well, actually, Asian hair, straight hair. That's right. Come through, y'all. Very good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Straight hair. That's what it is. Little tester. Category 3 is what kind of pattern? I'll wait. And I'll pose meanwhile. That's right. My natural is my natural, guys. So we've kind of gone through the texture categories. Category 1, 2, 3, and 4. Category 1 is bone straight naturally. Category 2 is a slightly wavy. Category 3 is an S pattern. Big S's on down to smaller S's. And category 4 is a Z pattern. Z pattern. Really compact Z pattern. Now, people that just holler out, I'm a 3C, I'm a 4C. What does that really mean? So what they're saying is that I have an S pattern in some form. Some 3s could be closer to 2s, which is a slightly wavy, which means that it's a bigger S. And some 3s can be closer to 4s, which means it's a smaller S pattern. Now that C, what that means is your strand is thicker. You have a thicker strand of hair. It's coarse. Okay? So when you thought that you were 3C just because somebody had pretty hair or pretty curls, oh, you got to be a 3C. No, doesn't mean that. Could just mean that you have category 3 with small strands of hair like mine. So I'm a 3A. I'm a 3A. But my natural is my natural. And I know what I like to do with my hair, and I know what I can do with my hair. And I want you guys to be empowered and to understand what you can do with your hair also. So that is what we were talking about today. So definitely you're going to have less frustration. You're going to be able to get really good results from your hair. So I'm going to go back now and take a look at some of the questions that you guys had. And actually see, well, yeah, I'll take some of your questions. So go ahead and type them in and I'll answer them as quickly as I can about the texture typing categories. Meanwhile, I do want to invite you guys, if you're in the Atlanta area, I will be at Bronner Brothers this weekend. And Healthy Hair Solutions, which is the name of my company, will be there. And I'll be texture talking right there. Some of my products I want to show you guys. If you ever heard of it, this is Whisper Whip Hydration. It's a big old juicy fat bottle. And the reason why is because we need this for hydration. You need it. If you've ever tried Whisper Whip, hey, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you want to try it, stay tuned next week. Or you can actually get it on my website, healthyhair.solutions. And also, I have my Argan Therapy Bouncy Curl Cream, which is amazing. It's argan oil-based products. Once you put them in your hair stays nice and soft. It's an amazing foundation. Oh, I had to get close. Amazing foundation for your natural hair curl pattern to keep it hydrated so it doesn't feel sticky or anything. Like my hair, I wish you could feel it through the screen. But you see how it's moving and everything, and it's not heavy. I love that because it doesn't weigh your hair down and make it dry. Argan oil, I absolutely love argan oil. It's amazing. Has a great bottle that it comes in and really cute packaging. So this is a perfect lock method. This is the Moroccan argan oil, Argan Therapy. These are sister mate products. The Argan Therapy argan oil and the argan oil based curl cream along with the Whisper Whip. The Whisper Whip would be your hydrator for your hair daily. And we'll talk more about that next week because our topic next week is actually going to be how to hydrate your hair. Isn't that really, really nice? Okay, so we got a question coming in from Latar Curry. How can I take full advantage of my hair thickness? And there's something else here. And okay, full advantage of your hair thickness. Kind of expand on that a little bit more. Any tips for, thank you so much. I know you love my glass. There's too many questions coming in so fast. I got to go back and look at this again. Okay. So, any tips for growing your hair? Yes. Okay, so let's talk about this. Growing your hair. Put your hands like this. And I want you to say, my hands are the best tools I could ever use. So the very first tip I'm going to tell you guys, don't use combs so much. You can use them, but you have to use them when it's appropriate, meaning when your hair is detangled. For example, my hair is twisted up right now, right? It's all twisted up. But if I go in with a comb and take each one of these, somebody asked me, oh, that's going to take you forever to take down. The devil's a lie, because I'm not taking it down, number one. Secondly, in order to do that, you see how there's a curl right here on the end? Now this is actually probably about 2 or 3 of them tangled together. The first thing I want to do is, instead of going in and pulling like this, that's going to turn into a knot. I actually want to go to the end of the hair, find the end of that, and then gently separate it. You see that? Came loose so easily. So using your fingers is going to be a great, great thing. And I'm literally going to just try to take one of these down for you, so you can see what I mean. Yes, the devil is a lie. Okay, you can stretch this out and just twist it in the opposite direction and literally work your way down until it's loose, and then slowly work your way back up to the top, which takes time. Some people say, oh, that will take too long. Well, it takes a long time to grow your hair back too after you've snatched yourself bald. So that's another thought process you could put in mind. The moral of the story is, be gentle with your hair. I'm twisting because I took it loose, so now I'm twisting it back up. And I will be doing demonstrations live from time to time. Okay, another good tip for growing your hair, guys, is that hair grows from your bloodstream. Each hair follicle is connected to your bloodstream. So when you feed yourself internally, drink plenty of water, get proper amount of rest, take the right nutrients into your body, things that are full of biotin, like your kale, your green vegetables, just taking biotin in general, that is really good for your hair, and making sure that you're exercising enough so that your blood is flowing through to feed your hair follicles properly. Externally, taking care of it using your hands, keeping your hair moisturized. Whisper Whip is amazing for hydrating your hair. And there's actually a video you can watch, and I'll upload that on my page, Tendai Robin Morris, Tendai Robin Morris. I'll upload on there that on there so you guys can see it. And meanwhile, again, if you've never tried Whisper Whip, it's something that you definitely want to add as a staple into your natural hair regimen. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. I hope I answered that for you, Miss Muhammad. What are good products for frizz? And you said you've been buying what? Says, I've been buying, I guess, a lot of stuff is what she's trying to tell me. Well, good products for frizz. Well, the first thing is, what I noticed is that it's not all about, it's partly about the products, but it's a whole lot about the way you approach your hair. Hair has memory. So what you do to it over and over again is what your hair is going to give you. It's going to respond in that way. For example, each strand on your head, if you have a curly, I'm assuming that most of us have a curly strand of hair in some capacity, or slightly wavy. If not, either way it goes. Hair strands, if you think about each of my fingers being a strand. So imagine they're all straight. Now imagine they're all curly. Each one's curly. And when they grow, they're just kind of like this. We take a comb and we go in and we comb it and stretch it out, and then they snap together and they bunch up together like this, right? So frizz literally happens when we separate those strands and then they curl up and then fluff back together like this. That's what causes frizz. When we go in and we use our fingers and we literally take those strands of hair and pull them down together in any kind of way, and literally just take small sections and separate them out, you're going to cause definition. Now my definition is showing more so because I've twisted my strands together. So a tip for combating frizz is, number one, training your hair using your fingers, because your hair has memory. That's really, really important. And then the other thing is that any product you use, putting in your hair the same direction, using the same motion. People call it shingling nowadays, but literally that's just a motion that you use to define your curls. Okay, so if you want to call it shingling, call it shingling. I'm just saying that it works. Okay, let's go to some other questions. Love it, love it. Thank you, Cherise. I'm learning my hair and noticed it is different from color. Oh, I hate that this doesn't show me all of the questions. I don't like that at all. I wish you guys could literally call me. It says, you want to try it? I want you guys to try it. It says, I have dreads, so what type of pattern do I have? You know what? You tried to trick me with that question, did you? Your hair is the same pattern that it's been when it started growing out. The difference is that your curls are now locked together. So depending on what you have right on the tips, if you take some, I say like some conditioner, just smooth that area out and see what it does. I mean, yeah, just kind of see. It may be a 3. It may be a 3, it may be a 4. Just depends. How long did it take your hair to lock? That's the question I want to ask you, because that would tell me a lot. If it took your hair a long time to lock, like it would take mine, then you're probably in a 3, somewhere in the middle. And how thick or thin is your strand? Your strand is going to be telling you whether it's an A, B, or C. So, yeah, you still have a texture category, even though you have locks. Nice try. Let's see what else we have here. That's Whisper Whip. Is that Spanish? Habla español un poquito, but not enough to be talking to you like this. So I'm going to need you to translate that English, and then we can get on back to you. Thanks. I'm going to learn Spanish. I wish I had a translator here. I'll have that next time, okay? Yes, you have it. Yes. Okay. So we're going on back up. Any other questions? Let me see. When do you define your natural hair pattern? Wet or dry? Right. So you definitely need to define your hair, your texture category when it's hydrated, when it's wet. So literally when people come into the salon, the first thing I do is I tell them to say my natural is my natural. You can say that. And then I tell them to, I take a section of their hair, maybe about this big, and I'm going to put this directly on my locks. So for my lock girls, my lock sisters out there, you can use this on your locks as well. Sister locks, the whole 9. So I'm going to put this right on my hair. This is the Whisper Whip, and I put it in, and it hydrates your hair, right? So I put this in their hair, and I smooth their hair out like so, and then when I let it go, it starts doing all these cool things. So even though my hair is in 2-strand twists, I can still see the pattern. So that's what it does. That's the Whisper Whip. It's amazing. It's not sticky. It's not going to be greasy. I've been told that it just feels very, very moisturizing. It's water-based, so it's not going to feel like anything. I can put this right on my hands, and then I like to apply the oil right behind it. But the best way to define your texture, to answer your question, is wet. Yeah, so do you use like a cream, or wet your hair, but put some kind of a cream on it and see how your hair responds. The reason that's going to be important is because the outer layer of your hair, which is the cuticle layer, is going to open up and allow the moisture to come in. There's a tip for you guys. A lot of people like to wet their hair first and then go and try to detangle. Well, when you do that, you're actually creating more problems. You're actually causing your hair to become more split, get more split ends, and that actually causes more problems. We're going to talk about fairy knots. That's where fairy knots come from. Fairy knots is basically a collection of shed hair, which you naturally shed about 100 strands every day anyway. Okay, those shed hairs collect in your head. So as they start to release, when you do any kind of combing or anything like that, your hair, first of all, has been split because you combed and literally gotten to the end and snapped, and the hair splits like this. So if you think of one strand like this, you comb down and it's curled. You comb down with the comb, it jumps out, and then it snaps off because it's snagged, and then it's frayed like this. And when it frays, it still curls back up. So your shed hair gets pulled out, and it gets collected in these collection of split ends, and that's what causes fairy knots. Okay, so those are all little reasons why you need to use your hands, because your hands are what? The best tools you could ever use. Y'all better give me some. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what else. How can I, you said, how can I take full advantage of your hair growth? It shows me some of the question, but not the full question. Hello, everybody. There's somebody saying hi to me, so I'm just saying hi back. All right, thumbs up. Did you guys not know that that's what fairy knots were? I see all the hearts going. But that's what Texture Talk is all about. It's about you understanding your natural hair. You guys, for so many years, we've chased the form of beauty that did not look like us. And we actually used those regimens. And those regimens did not give us the best results for our hair, i.e. short hair, i.e. bald patches, i.e. issues. You name it. We have these problems. So understanding our hair is going to help us to empower our children, help our children to love natural hair. The little boys are going to love seeing little girls with their natural hair, and it's just going to be a norm because mommy has it. You know what I mean? So yeah. How can I train my curls after only wearing a flat iron? That's a good one. That one is coming from Kimberly Smith. Kimberly, so when you go in and flat iron your hair, let's talk about the way hair strand is structured, okay? And I'm not going to get so scientific that you guys are like, it's like way over here. I'm going to keep it simple because simple helps you to be able to explain this to somebody else. So I hope you got a pen and pad. We're going to go ahead and break this down really quickly. So if you think about a strand of curly hair, right, in its natural state, there's something called elasticity. And people like to think this is elasticity. No. This is just your spring. This is where your curls are. This is where you pull it out. When you get it to this far, this is it stretched out. This is the point where a strand, where it's stretched out, starts elasticity zone. Okay, so you have this curly hair, but once you get it stretched out, there's a point where your hair actually stretches a little bit further, like a rubber band, before it breaks. Think about when you used to get relaxers, right? If you're still getting them, shame on you. But think about when you used to get relaxers. Your hair would seem like it was longer. It's like, oh my God, my hair is even longer since I got my relaxer, right? But your hair was now weakened because it's so straight that it has nowhere else to go except for break off. So elasticity is that point between where your hair is straight to stretchy right before it breaks. That's the elasticity zone. Make sense? Okay, so let's keep on going. If you think about your hair as a rubber band, like this, as a rubber band, your hair, the bonds kind of look like this. There's bonds in our hair. So you got chemical bonds, which are changed by like relaxers or Jerry curls or something like that. And your physical bonds that you change by heat. So if it goes straight down and then your curl happens because it breaks like this. So it's a curl. And then it goes straight down, then it breaks and it's like a curl. And then it goes straight down and it breaks and it's a curl. So if you think about it like that, all right, and we think about a rubber band, what happens with heat damage is that we go in and we heat these bonds up to make everything straight. Well, that's what happens when we straighten our hair. We go in with the blow dryer. I like making sound effects too. And we straighten our hair out. But then we go in with the flat iron and we heat it up even more. So those bonds stretch apart like this, goes down, and now it's a straight strand of hair. But when you do it too many times, think about that rubber band. If you stretch a rubber band, you know, like this, you can use it. You can put your hair in ponytails and things like that. But if you use that rubber band too many times, going back and forth like this, eventually that rubber band gets to be a little bit loose. Like if you stretch it, and then it gets to a point where it's right at that breaking point, okay? You keep it there too long, it's actually going to get really loose. Then it gets to a point where you stretch it so far that it breaks. So if you think about that with the heat, okay, let's talk about that process. And I'm going into a subject that I wasn't trying to go into yet. I'm trying to save some content, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take y'all over to the motherland right quick. So the process when we actually straighten our hair, what happens, okay? When you go to the salon, you wash your hair with hot water. You would put conditioner on it, put a plastic cap on it, maybe. Send it to the dryer. The dryer is hot. The dryer is probably about what? 400, I don't know, 350 degrees. It feels like about hell. It feels like 500 degrees, doesn't it? But anyway, you sit under there, sweat, and have hot flashes when you get out. I know, I've been doing this a long time. So then you get out, they take hot water, rinse it on your head, rinse all the conditioner out so your head's still warm. You take a towel, put it on there. They take it to the seat. So now every time you apply heat, your strands are stretching out, right? They're stretching out, stretching out. Okay, the heat has got them stretched just a little bit. And as the room cools, your hair goes back together. Well, you sit down in the seat, you take a blow dryer, and you blow it out. Now, that blow dryer is on about 350, okay? They're blow drying it out, okay? Some of y'all want to get it bone straight. So now we're talking about it straight now, but when we talk about the elasticity zone, but it's now hot too because so the bonds are pulled apart. Go in with a flat iron. The hair still hasn't cooled down, and we take that heat and we got smoke going everywhere, got your comb, go about 4 or 5 times. Ooh, the hair is silky. You get done, your hair is all smooth and swinging, and right? But remember that rubber band we talked about? Stretch too far, hair is going to end up weak. Really, really weak, like this piece of string hanging on my shirt. I got to do better, y'all. Anyway, so going back to that, that's the reason why. And the thing is that once those bonds are stretched so far apart, they don't go back. They don't go back. So you have no choice. It can go back with reconstructors and things like that, but if it's stretched too far and you try to get it to go back, it doesn't work. And so you're left with new growth, which is your new hair, and then your straight pieces. The bottom line is that you have to choose whether you want to be a straight natural or a curly natural. And if you're going to straighten your hair, have someone do it who understands heat interval training. Heat interval, which means that you're allowing your hair to cool all the way down before you introduce another series of heat to it. Make sense? Any other questions? We got plenty of time, guys. And remember, next week we're going to be discussing hydration versus moisture. We're going to be talking about a whole lot of things. Should you trim your ends? When should you trim your ends? Can you trim your ends curly versus straightening your hair out to do so? Yes, the best tip, use your hands instead of a comb. Exactly. Exactly. I'm so glad y'all getting this. And I see the thumbs coming across. What do you do to prep hair for sleep? Okay, so for me, I love satin pillowcases. I don't like laying down with stuff on my head, and my husband doesn't like it either. But it ain't for him, it's for me. I don't like feeling like I got somebody squeezing my head all night long. That's in that bonnet, the little Bakerman's hat. I can't do it, y'all. I have to take that off. And at night, if your hair's a little longer, you can take it and put it up in a high pony like this, and you see it. Notice how I'm using the palms of my fingers. Pull it up like this, and use a loose tie to just put your hair in a ponytail. Like if you just literally want to just have it up, you can do that. See, my glasses are stuck. You can do that, and in the morning leave it just like this. Go do your workout or whatever you're gonna do. When you're ready to get in the shower, the steam is going to hit it. You don't have to like let the water run directly on your hair. Or if you do it, just do like a quick pass. I know that was, y'all like that. I know I'm silly. Let the water hit it. And then when you get out, take the band off and shake that baby out. And you're ready to go. You see that? You're ready to go. I had to pose for y'all a second because that's how I do in the mornings for myself. If I don't love on myself, who gonna love on me? You better love yourself, people. All right? My natural is my natural. Let me see y'all type it up. My natural is my natural. Yes, it is. I love music too. We're going to talk about edges, like how to get your edges to grow back in when they have dismissed themselves without telling anyone. They just left. We're going to talk about how they come back. We're going to talk about alopecia. We're going to talk about different types. And can you grow your hair back? What's this whole thing with Monostat 7? There's so many topics we're going to cover on Texture Talk. We are at 7:43 right now. We still got a little time. Let's see what other kind of questions we got coming up. And I do want to say thank you so much to the people at Natural Hair Mag who've let me take over their airwaves for about an hour, their Facebook page for about an hour. I appreciate that because there's so much information. And again, look for me in Atlanta, Georgia at the Bronner Brothers Show. Healthy Hair Solutions, I'll be there. The Hair Whisperer Tendai with my products, so check me out. Also, the week after that, I'll be in D.C. at the Ubiquitous Expo. Ubiquitous Expo. I'm actually going to a lot of cities. Where are you guys at? Type in your cities. Shout your place out. It's thick and full, but I don't know what to do to have pretty hair. Oh my gosh. So, man, what city are you in? Latara Curry. Latara Curry. I had to slow down for that one. Let me see if there's any other questions. Can you help with knots and tangling, please? Yes. So this is going to be your best friend. If you guys have used Whisper Whip before, go ahead and type them in. Let them know what your experiences are. Let them know what your experiences are with the Whisper Whip. We're going to talk about so many other products as well, because the thing is that the foundation, you have to understand your foundation, okay? The foundation for your hair. It's like cooking, right? So if you have a dry head of hair when you start off, and then you put products that are designed for styling on top of dry hair, guess what? You're going to have an even more suffocated dry head of hair. So prepping your hair, making sure your hair is hydrated the right way before you go in trying to do anything else to it is going to be so important. And Whisper Whip is one of those things that allows you to do that. I'll post results. I'll post before and afters of people who have used the Whisper Whip products. Okay, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else I'm forgetting. What are some of the topics that you want to discuss next week? Let me see. Locking oils okay for kids. Locking oils okay for kids. I don't know what you mean by that. Expand on that one, Stephanie. How can I make my coils look more hydrated? You know what? I think next week we're going to actually do a demonstration on how to get your curls hydrated. That's going to be an amazing video. Please share that you're actually live with me now. Please let people know that you're on the live video, and that will help them to be able to tune in with us and get all of this wonderful information. I had a lady that came in to tell you how important hydration is. She's come in to me for quite a while now, but initially she said that her hair is literally a category 4. And I would say it's probably a 4B, meaning that her strands are medium, but it's a really, really tight coil. The thing with the tighter your coils are and the more you've been using shampoo on your hair is going to be stripped a lot drier, right? So she would breakage. She was using picks and combs, so literally every time she combed her hair, it was snapping off. So her afro literally stayed about this tall for a long time, and then her edges were kind of snatched. So gone. That's the so gone challenge. The edges were gone. But anyway, using hydration methods got her hair to grow back. It did. And now her hair is so long, so long, so long. Yeah. Y'all want to hear my edges song? I won't sing that for y'all today, but yeah, edges will leave on you if you don't treat them right. They will dismiss themselves, and it's not fun. It's not a pretty sight when they just vanish, just like that. You see how it disappeared? They just vanish. I know. Yeah, after a certain amount of time, I started to get a little silly. Let me see what other questions we have on here. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like my glasses. I got these from Sharice's Pieces. Oh, okay. How can I train my curls after... Oh, we talked about that one already. What do you do to prep? We talked about that one too. Snatched yourself bald. Yes, you can definitely be snatched bald. You can be rubbed bald too. Let me show you how you can be rubbed bald. From... Okay, your collar, right? Use a collar. You're in the wintertime, especially since it's getting ready to get cold. The scarf, the cotton scarf, sucking moisture off the back of your head. And the back of your hair is so gone over you. That's one way. People wearing headbands, those cotton headbands all around your head. Some of y'all got them daughters who play sports, and they put those headbands, they take them off, and the edges are so gone over you. Yeah. Another way. Ain't no different from the babies that lay on that cotton and then their bald spot is right through here. Their hair is so gone. Y'all gonna sing the song after a while. You will. Like Monica. Love your eyeglasses. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are digging my eyeglasses. Oh, got a long one here. Let's see what this one says. It says, I love the tutorial. I'm a 4C. My hair is very kinky. And when I first went natural, wanted to look silky and smooth. That's not what God gave me. he did not. And you have to basically have realistic expectations, and I'm fighting the light and my sight. The light and my sight. See, these are glasses. They're really cute, but they have no lenses in them. See that? And I should really get my real glasses, but I don't like them. So I'm going to struggle with this. I wish y'all could talk to me. We're going to set that up, okay? Y'all listening? Natural Hair Mag, I need us to get some, y'all going to call in to me, and we just going to talk about this, because anybody got time for this. I don't wear lenses because the grease from my hand gets all on the lenses when I'm working. So, I mean, I just pop them out and wear these glasses. That's what I do. But you know what? You're exactly right. The realistic expectations of your 4C and the struggle is real. You have to know what is within your grasp. That way you're not disappointed. You know, if you have 4C hair and you walk in and you show me a picture of Halle Berry's shortcut and you say, this is what I want. That's how I'm going to look at you, just like that. How long does that style last? This style that I have right now? This style, actually, I've had it up for three weeks. I know I don't have much sense, y'all. I know. But when you hit your 40s, you don't have time. I don't have time for this anymore. I just want to just tell you guys the truth. And that's why I got up from behind a chair and I travel all over the country telling you guys what it really, really is. You need to go natural because relaxers are making your hair leave, okay? It's relaxing and it's dying. It's so relaxed that it's dead. And then on top of that, you know, it's causing problems internally. Relaxers are actually causing fibroid tumors and so many other things. So, I mean, yeah, when it comes to just styling, we want to find things that's going to be within your zone. The best thing you guys can do, I'm going to give you this bit of advice before we have to get ready to get out of here. But this bit of advice, create a roadmap for your hairstyles, okay? Find beautiful styles from the shortest to the longest. From the shortest, find your face shape. Go look at pictures of people who look like you. If you look like Precious, hey, own it. There's nothing wrong with looking like Gabby Sidibe. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. Because somebody is making her look fabulous and she's making money off of being the way that she is. Now, if your face is that like that, if it's round, okay, be thankful you have a face. Find hairstyles that's shorter and that find hairstyles to the longest and longer all the way out. But then it gets to be a problem. You get too long because if you got a head, shoulders, knees, toes, work that body to the floor, you might want to just keep it up this way and elevate, okay? Nothing wrong with it. But just find your natural. Understand where you are and rock it. That's all I'm saying. There's certain things I can't do. My head is flat in the back. This part right here is flat. So nobody's perfect. Just got to do what works for you. And I'm here to help you guys through this natural hair journey we called Natural Hair Journey. All right. Remember, once again, guys, please feel free to join me here every Wednesday for Texture Talk. We do have time for a couple more questions. Let's see. What are good products for women with psoriasis? With psoriasis, in your scalp, and this is Jasmine Brown. Yeah, so for psoriasis, I like to ask a couple things because sometimes people have psoriasis and then they have seborrheic dermatitis. I'm wondering which of the two you're referring to. I know you said psoriasis, but you're talking about on your scalp or on your skin, you know. We have to be very careful with that stuff. And those are subjects that we're definitely going to talk about. As far as where I am, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri. St. Charles is actually where my salon is. And we love working with people with natural hair, starting the natural hair journey and moving on to helping them all the way through. Again, I'm going to post some pictures. We're definitely going to want to see each and every one of you guys back here next week. Be sure to share your experience here. Let me know some topics that you guys want to talk about. I'm going to go back and look through the feed and actually pull some topics out. And as we go through week to week, we're going to cover the ones that you guys suggest, okay? Let me make sure we do that. Let me check and see if we have any other questions. Let's see. Hello. When I do a wash and go, What is the best way to go about, I guess, go about doing it? This only shows me some of the question. But wash and goes are all about training your hair. What you do to your hair over and over again. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and probably in our next episode, how to get the best wash and go, how to train your curls, how to bring your curl definition in, how to make sure your hair is going to stay hydrated when you do it, and how to layer your products up the right way using hydration products, and then your foundation products, and then your styling products on top of that. There's two different types of products, guys. You have products for foundation, which is basically moisturizing your hair, and then you have products for styling, which is keeping your style intact, or actually creating that style in the first place. So we definitely want to do that. And then also next week we're going to be giving you guys opportunities to win different things by sharing your email addresses. So this is one of the prizes. It's a Texture Talk t-shirt from the Hair Whisperer Tendai herself. Also, you'll be able to get the very first product of many different types of products that I will highlight here on the show. This is Whisper Whip. This is my own product. This is another one of my products, the Argan Therapy Bouncy Curl Cream, and also the Argan Therapy Argan Oil. All amazing products. They work really well following the lock method. Liquid, oil, then cream. Amazing results, let me tell you, for the entire family. Also for men's beards, it's a wonderful thing. Hey, I'm just happy to be able to share this platform with you guys. It's going to be phenomenal. Be sure to follow me on Instagram under the Hair Whisperer _. That's the Hair Whisperer _. Really quickly, I should tell you guys how I got the name the Hair Whisperer, so you won't think I just named myself that. Because literally, you type it in, and there's like a billion hair whisperers that come up. But people started calling me the Hair Whisperer after a while. So after hearing it about 3 times and running away from it, I finally decided, okay, that's what it is. So I am the Hair Whisperer Tendai, and that's just what it is. So yeah, the Hair Whisperer _ on Instagram, and I'm also on Facebook under Tendai Robin Morris, TENDAI Robin Morris. I will definitely look forward to seeing all of you guys at either Bronner Brothers or the Ubiquitous Expo in Washington, D.C. I have some other dates come up too. Let me let you guys know exactly where I'll be. So you guys may catch me somewhere. All right. So this is, yeah, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, August 19th through the 21st. Ubiquitous. Shout out to Minneapolis. That was an amazing show you guys did there. Hair Honey. August the 26th and 27th, I'll be in Washington, D.C. September the 9th, looks like I'll be in Dallas at the Women's Ultimate Expo, and also looks like Tallahassee, Florida, September 10th. So many shows. Shout out to the St. Louis Natural Hair Expo. Their event is going to be coming up. I gotta get their date. I think it's October, so I'm gonna get this out of the way so I can share that with you guys. Yeah. Oh, St. Louis, October the 7th, St. Louis Natural Hair Expo. You guys definitely want to be in the house for that one. It's going to be an amazing show. And hey, we got so many different locations. Fayetteville, we'll be in Fayetteville, September 18th. Also, Los Angeles at Nappywood, Los Angeles, California. Let me know if you guys want to do some education with your group. Let me know. I'd love to come and spend some time with you guys at your event. Please don't miss Texture Talk Live next week. That's Wednesday right here on the Natural Hair Mag Facebook page. And yeah, I'm just super excited to be able to share this platform. Let me take one more question here, so we got a little bit of time. I know this is about the hair, but your glasses are fly. Thanks, boo. You want them? Here. You can have them. I like my little glasses. They're just frames, you know. Like I said, they're just nothing, you know. But I got them from Sharice's Pieces. Sharice, she was on here. If you're on here still, let them know where you are because they want these glasses. Max the body. Yeah. Let me see who else. This is my second time going natural. The first time I did my hair and it was so pretty. But this second time around, it's not growing the same or even the same texture. Why is that? Where are you located? What city are you in? Because sometimes the weather could have an effect on your hair. Also, hormonal changes could have an effect on your hair. How long has it been? Did you put heat on your hair? I think there's just a lot more of the story that you need to tell me. That's what I think. But I would love to talk to you more about that. Hello, just chiming in. What's your website? www.healthyhair.solutions. www.healthyhair.solutions. I'm also available products on Amazon. So just type in Whisper Whip. Okay? Well, guys, it's 8 o'clock. That's my time. It's been a phenomenal first show. My name is Tendai, the Hair Whisperer. I look forward to Texture Talking live with you guys next Wednesday. And, hey, jot your questions down. Make some noise for our first one. We did it. Yes. Talking about texture. Remember, your natural is your natural. And my natural is my natural. Hey, we're going to be happy. Be happy. And it's a beautiful thing. All right? And I'm so gone over you.